Have you ever felt inadequate? Have you ever felt like you just weren't good enough? Well, in today's episode, I'm just going to talk a little bit about my experience with feelings of inadequacy of the imposter syndrome as a YouTuber. And so I did just want to define imposter syndrome real quick for those of you that might not know what it is. Imposter syndrome is a behavioral health phenomenon described as a self-doubt of intellect, skills, or accomplishments among high-achieving individuals. And over the last couple of years on YouTube, I think that I've seen a really good amount of success. A lot of people struggle to get their first couple of hundred subscribers, and I've been able to, over the last couple of years, grow to a couple thousand subscribers. And my main channel at this point in time has over 500,000 views on the channel. I do have a couple of high-performing videos, and so a lot of people come into the Discord or they leave comments and they wish that they were at the success point of where I was at, which is such a humbling feeling, and it's so gratifying to be able to see that growth over a period of time. But I would be lying to you if I just felt like I was awesome at this, or especially if I was awesome at this all the time, because being a YouTuber, being in the Minecraft hardcore sphere, and looking at all of these incredible creators that are putting just as much time and energy into the craft as I am, and with so many of them that just have better skill sets, whether it be as a builder, as a commentator, as a video editor. You see these works of art on YouTube, and if you're anything like me, you're always on YouTube because you like to see what other people are making, and you like to see the up-and-coming smaller creators that are really changing the game when it comes to Minecraft YouTube. But, I oftentimes will look at their works and be quite jealous and be like, oh my gosh, if they only have a couple hundred subscribers, like, do I even deserve the subscribers that I have? Like, how did it happen? Like, do people actually really want to watch the videos that I make? And don't get me wrong, when I'm finished with a video myself, I love watching it back and I love seeing what I've made it, and I'm always really proud of it. But then sometimes looking back, if a video in particular, if it doesn't perform very well, then you can be like, I thought this was good and I was proud of it. Like, I'm not the sort of person that is instant to blame the algorithm. I'm always going to blame myself first, and I'm like, what did I do wrong? And sometimes when I feel like I did as much as I could right based on my own skill set and based on what I bring to the table at this certain point in time, there can just be these feelings of inadequacy. And today is definitely one of those days. I made a video on the second channel yesterday about one of my own life experiences, and it tanked. It really didn't do well. And I was like, do people really care? Like, is this not good? I thought maybe, telling a little bit more about myself and my life would be interesting to other people. But then I just got this feeling yesterday of like, people don't care. And I've been watching another awesome second channel from a huge YouTuber called Not Brock. And I'm sure a couple of you that are hanging out in watching the video today may have heard of him. And he's been doing like a story time sort of thing too. And of course, he has tons of subscribers on his main channel, so much more of a following. But they really just love hearing him talk and hearing his stories and his experiences and that sort of stuff. And so over the last couple days, I was inspired to start making all these videos on the second channel from him. And I felt really good about it for a couple days, and I was like, oh my God, look at the growth on the second channel. And don't get me wrong, thank you so much if you found the channel recently. I'm planning on continue to make these videos pretty much every single day. It's been really cathartic for me to talk about these sorts of things, I gotta say. But I was talking with a YouTuber called Throwlash, maybe a month or two ago. And we just were talking on Discord, and I love Throwlash's videos. Like, genuinely, the content creator, whenever he posts and I see his thumbnail, I click on it pretty much instantly, and I almost always watch the entire video, and I leave comments as much as I can as well. And so I've been a fan, and I'm actually a bigger YouTube channel than he is. He is almost 2,000 subscribers, and I'm working towards 3,000 subscribers. But in my opinion, I can look at his work and be like, oh my gosh, like, I love it, and that sort of thing. Like, he brings so much to the table. And so I wanted to tell him that. And so I, when we were chit-chatting, I really made sure to give him the compliment and be like, hey, I wanted you to know, I don't just like watch your videos because I know you and I think it's a good networking thing. Like, I really like watching your videos. Like, it's a genuine thing. And he returns the compliment to me. And I think that one thing that we both ended up talking about was that as much as like our explicitness or, being explicit about like, no, we really like this. Like, I'm not trying to say it just to say it or anything. Like, I like your stuff, Throwlash, and I like your stuff, Slip. And I think that both of us, although we knew how genuine we were giving it, and so we would want to receive that feedback as genuinely too, it's like, whoa, Throwlash like actually likes Mike. Yeah, both of us really struggled to accept the feedback from people that are, taking the time to reach out to each other one-on-one with the specific reason of talking about how good it is. Like, the whole point of us talking was to be like, hey, you're awesome and you're awesome too. Regardless of understanding the purpose of the conversation, these feelings of inadequacy from time to time and imposter syndrome really played a role. And so we ended up talking about it. Like, oh my gosh, sometimes I feel like my stuff's really good, and sometimes I feel like I'll never be able to make it work. And the advice that people always give when it's like, if you're feeling down about your creative process, is just to continue on making things and creating and enjoying the process, and you're gonna get better over time. And I know that going over those hurdles and through that roller coaster over the last 2 years is the reason in itself for why I'm here today. But sometimes it's hard to really believe that success is genuine and that these people really do care, that sort of thing. And someone that's always been hard on myself and that sort of thing, there are definitely feelings that there are days just like this morning when I wake up and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I got my discipline. I'm on the routine. But does anyone really care? Does this really matter? And that sort of thing. And I think that as an elementary school teacher, I'm always reminded when I feel these feelings in any domain of life to remember your why. Why are you doing this? Of course, it'd be so incredible to have 1 million subscribers and be able to do this full time. And it's definitely something that I'm shooting for. But why do I make Minecraft videos? Well, it makes me really happy. I love seeing what I make, and I'm proud of it. And at the end of the day, that's always what matters, right? And even if my video yesterday about saving a baby's life only got 23 views, guess what? 4 of them were from me, and I loved them, and I liked watching it, and I was like, it's cool that I was able to to share my stories with the rest of you, to get to communicate and to have these connections. And from time to time, it can be like, is this a real thing? Do these people like Break the Net or Dino Scholar or all of the different Minecraft creators from around the world that I get to hang out with and chat with and give me compliments, and all of the other people that maybe you're hanging out and finding this channel for the first time and you're like, oh, Slick Guy has something that's maybe worth sharing and that sort of thing. Those connections are so real, and it's such a gratifying feeling. But sometimes it's still not enough, and you can feel inadequate, and you're like, wow, these people, like these wonderful people that are taking a chance on me, they're awesome. But like, do they take a chance on everyone else too? And like, there's so many other people that are just talking to or hanging out with other creators, and although I feel special, I'm not special. So anyway, that's a little bit of my experience. It's definitely a back and forth, but I hope that my little bit of a ramble today and hopping onto the microphone and making sure that I can get a video out for y'all on the second channel shows that discipline. And I gotta say, just talking into the microphone and it's dragging on, it's because the process is cathartic, and that's the why. That's what it's all about. It's not always about looking at the view count. It's about looking back and being like, I made something I'm happy with. I hope you have a great day, and I'll chat with you in the next episode.